not stupid. Documents say, I don't give a damn. She refused to answer when asked if she knew about the DNA test, and that silence spoke louder than words, so her remarks evoked suspicion as well as sympathy. I will die for that person because he is my child. Comparable to any rejection. Meanwhile, T prepared for combat. He called a press conference while manning a platform in front of bodyguards. Reporters shouted, cameras flashed, and T slammed his fist against the table. I don't care what documents they make public, what rumors they spread, or what lies they make up. My kid is that boy. My ancestry, and my name. The adversary was within, but the enemy is the one. The media began to get clues from unnamed sources that the DNA dispute was more than just a prosecution rumor, but proof that the entire trial was entangled in layers of lies, cover-ups, and secrets that were kept hidden to protect the Harris brand. Twitter threads, TikTok breakdowns, and Reddit conspiracy theories were all over the internet. Everybody sees the world differently. Was King set up? Or had his entire identity empire? Then followed the worst leak of all. An audio clip allegedly made inside the jail showed King's voice in a low whisper, blurry. They claim that I would never survive if I ever spoke about the reality of who I am. The video became viral. Conspiracy theorists screamed and the fans panicked. Hashtags. The secret is trending globally, and who is King Harris? Suddenly, this was more than just a court issue. It was a dilemma that made it hard to tell the different lies, love, and betrayal and deceit. King's health in prison began to worsen. He seemed exhausted, beaten, and haggard, and his supporters claimed he was being abused. Critics said it was manipulation, but the images in any event saddened people throughout the world. Then the hackers returned, and the same group that had promised proof now posted a countdown clock on the dark web. The message was clear. In 72 hours, the truth about King Harris will be revealed. The press went crazy and nothing can stop it. Did the DNA have a part in the forecasts made by news anchors on live television? A ploy for political gain? The prosecution? Nobody knew, but the countdown clock grew louder with every second, turning King's misery into a global obsession. Ty's enemies seized the opportunity. Rivals in the rap business came forth with their own accusations, stoking the fires. One said that Tiny had made deals with powerful individuals to hide information, while T had previously paid off judges. Family became closer to one another with each charge. The film then froze the globe, love her, as he banged on the holding cell door. They're coming to grab me tonight, Dad. I apologize. The video came to an end. Dark. One video was enough to turn whispers into dread. Advocates demanded answers. There were several demonstrators in the courthouse. Celebrities expressed their views, with some accusing the family of systematic deception and others endorsing King. The Harris family had gone from being royalty street to being at the center of the most explosive controversy in American history. However, King was no longer the exclusive subject. Because not everyone was just speculating about King's innocence. The real question was darker, more unsettling, and more dangerous. If King Harris is not T's child, then whose child is he? Moreover, destroying a whole family to keep a secret? The courts were supposed to administer justice, but on this day in particular, a theater of pain cameras flashed. Reporters rushed to the scene as the judge turned to King Harris and said the words that would rock the globe. His family forever. 5 years in the custody of the state. The silence in that room wasn't silence. No one could hear the scream because it was so loud. That's my baby. You can't take him away! Tiny, his mother pleaded in sobs, her voice echoing with pain. T, the monarch of the South. The man who had formerly radiated unflinching power remained still, his teeth clenched, his hands quivering but his eyes unblinking. They told him of a loss he would never understand. His means of escape. Tiny connected to the internet, her cheeks filled with tears. Her voice cracked. You all don't know my family. ... Stop spreading false information about my child. I don't care what the paperwork says. King is my kid, and I'll give my life to protect him. Her words inspired sympathy. But more significant than any denial was her refusal to answer the DNA questions. T, meantime, prepared for a noisy conflict. He stood at a news platform with armed guards around him and pounded his fist against the table. The lies they revealed